I'm gonna list to you guys every single evidence of build-up that the MCU has done to lead to Doomsday. My friends, I know I look like absolute shit. Yeah, I lost the beard. I know. It's genuinely over. Like what is this? Anyway, despite the popular opinion, Avengers Doomsday does have build-up. I'm gonna prove it to you. There's been many videos disappointed, sad, trying to just cope that, guys, there's no such thing as build-up to Avengers Doomsday. There's no hype behind it. Where did Doom come from? What is the storyline? It kind of feels random and we're just jumbling everything together. I'm sure that Marvel fans that actually kept watching the shows and the movies are in the loop of what's going on and know what's coming. And obviously, if you look at any of the comics, it's quite simple. It's just Incursions and Multiverse is going to shit. But I'm gonna give you proof that we've been building up to this now. Let's talk about Avengers Doomsday, everyone's favorite topic. So I was scrolling on TikTok as per usual, exhausted from work. I just had to notice that, oh, the trailer's out for Avengers Doomsday. Let's watch this. I start watching it, and oh my god, we finally get to see Doctor Doom. We get to hear him. We get to see the X-Men fighting the Avengers. There's a bunch of cool shit going on. We see Loki after a long time, and just so much awesome things. And then you just end off the trailer with Doom doing the most like aura farm thing I've ever seen in my life, where he just stops Thor's Stormbringer with just 2 fingers, which is now, by the way, my wallpaper, because that is a crazy shot. Then I go to the comments and I'm like, man, I hope people are as excited as I am, right? There's no build up to Doomsday. Oh my god, this looks like a cash grab. Oh, I don't feel anything. There's just nothing. It's not like the Infinity Saga. There's absolutely no build up. Where the fuck is Doom coming from? Oh my god, this fucking sucks. It's awful. And I just sit there, I'm like, guys, have we been watching the same shit over the years? I know most people haven't been watching Marvel. It did fall off for a while. It's not as good as a product as what it could have been with the Multiverse Saga. But something just rubs me the wrong way. Saying that Avengers Doomsday has no build gets to me. I don't know, there's something about this topic that just really irks me. It really gets me going. So let's talk about it. I'm gonna list to you guys every single evidence of build-up that the MCU has done to lead to Doomsday. Let's start with the first one. Watching one of the best shows that Marvel has produced, Loki Season 1. I mean, it reveals that reality is not one universe, but a massive branching timeline, right? We have the multiverse. He Who Remains is like, hey, I won the war or whatever. This is the sacred timeline. Then, because of some shenanigans with Sylvie and all of that, Sylvie, whatever her name is,
Sylvie,
shit hits the fan. And guess what? The MCU is no longer the sacred timeline, and we now have the multiverse. Wow. Now, granted that the multiverse hasn't been touched on at all that well, in my opinion. It's fucking terrible, but I digress. This is one part of it. Now, why is the multiverse important? Let's go to Marvel's What If. It establishes basically that alternate things could happen in the multiverse. While we didn't see any good movies that went into how the multiverse works and stuff like that, What If was a great example of, oh, what if this happened? What if Ultron got the Infinity Gauntlet? What if X, Y, and Z happened? What if it was Peggy instead of Captain America for like the millionth time? But I digress. Basically, it gives you the idea that every single hero can have variants of themselves, and the timeline and things that can go on in the multiverse is different. Now you're gonna say, okay, Avengers Doomsday, there's still no relation. Well, let's go to the next one, which is Spider-Man No Way Home. This shows that now, because of Doctor Strange's spell and Spider-Man going deep into this whole spell, timey-wimey shenanigans, whatever, they brought some people from the Sony universe. They brought Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, they brought Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, the GOAT, by the way, and they brought some villains from the old days. We got to see fucking the Green Goblin, we got to see Doc Ock, Electro, so on and so forth. So it shows that, hey, wait a minute, things that were not supposed to be in the MCU are starting to get into the MCU. And Why is this majorly important? Is like now it shows that the MCU is capable of merging characters from separate realities. But you still are gonna ask me, okay, we're establishing the multiverse. Yes, I kind of understand that, oh, it's infinite universes and different timelines and different things could happen. I mean, in Loki itself, we saw, alligator Loki and different variants of him, like a kid Loki and the old Loki and stuff like that. So we've established that, yes, there are variants. Yes, multiverses exist. Why is it so important? How does this lead to Doomsday? I'm getting there. Just hold on. Now let's talk about one of the most controversial movies. Second most controversial movies of this phase, which is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Sam Raimi, man, you could have had a banger, but you really didn't do well with it. However, it set up what is the most important part for Avengers Doomsday, because we get, first of all, alternate realities, the possibility of universes destroying each other. Whoa! What are they called again? Incursions! What is Secret Wars about? Incursions! No way! Wow! We get the stuff like the Illuminati, the idea that characters can travel between universes now, and there's a threat of a multiversal collapse, and basically, this movie by itself is enough setup for what's gonna happen in Avengers Doomsday. But you're gonna say, okay, Doctor Doom, it's kind of random. It should have been Kang, right? He's the multiversal threat that goes into Secret Wars. Well, fucking Jonathan Majors, god damn it, man. It's really unfortunate what happened. But the main plot thread, just like the Infinity Saga was the Infinity Stones, the main plot thread in Avengers Doomsday or the Multiverse Saga is the fact that there's multiverses, and having all these multiverses go out of control is gonna cause incursions, which means that universes are gonna start destroying each other. That is the thing. It could have been any villain. It could have been anyone. It could have been Apocalypse. It could have been any single person to do this, but they decided to pick probably one of the coolest characters to be able to, actually make the film pretty epic. Because let's be honest, as much as Kang is awesome, and I do hope in the future they reattempt Kang in a better, more structured way, unfortunately I don't know why they didn't recast him, but hey, that's what it is. So, I want people to realize something. The main villain setup for Thanos was a couple of post-credit scenes. Yes, the Infinity Gauntlet is there. Yes, we had the stones across multiple movies. Yes, in retrospective, they were building towards it. And it was a great build-up. I am not downplaying the Infinity Saga's build-up. It was phenomenal. It had such a beautiful payoff. The Multiverse Saga, unfortunately, not as epic, right? Because everything seems so disjointed and random and nothing is connected. But that's the point. There's so many universes and so many timelines going out and about. The idea is that it gets so convoluted that eventually these universes start colliding with each other and destroying each other. That is the overarching threat. It's not necessarily Doctor Doom. Heck, Doctor Doom is trying to be a hero in this, in his own way, right? He's not the villain. Well, he is the villain, but I digress, What did RDJ say? New mask, same task. He's trying to save the universe. This is the thing. So the main threat, the key word, I would say, of Avengers Doomsday is the incursions. That's the key thing. Well, the best way I can describe it is the Multiverse Saga is moving towards a situation where various universes can no longer coexist with each other. This is the foundation for Avengers Doomsday. This issue is what the Multiverse Saga has been building up to this whole time. That is our Infinity Stones. It's multiple universes and the incursions causing destruction. Alright, let's talk about some other evidences. So, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, he literally causes an incursion. No Way Home, the spell accidentally tears barriers between the multiverse, and you saw that there's catastrophic consequences to that, and it could have been every single villain that Spider-Man has ever faced from all different Sony movies and stuff like that coming through. In What If, we had Strange Supreme demonstrate what happens when someone attempts to manipulate reality at an enormous scale. Reality fights back. Loki, the TVA and the branching timelines established the infrastructure for the multiverse. The Marvels, literally, Monica Rambeau gets stuck in the X-Men universe. That's not supposed to happen. That's not good. The main villain of that, I don't know if I can remember what God, that movie did not care. It was fine. It's not as bad as people say, but in the Marvels, it's showing again that the multiverse is unstable. Things are getting worse and worse. And what happens at the end is someone punches a thing through the line of the universe. how do I describe this? The wall of reality. He breaks through, goes into another universe, and then Monica Rambeau, or was it her? I don't remember. But basically, she gets trapped, whatever. So that's an evidence to that. Another thing, the mutants have been starting to get sort of built up now. The X-Men. If you look at Miss Marvel, she kind of seems to have a mutation. This is kind of the first confirmation that mutants exist in the MCU. Namor is apparently a mutant. Who knew? Obviously, I mentioned the X-Men universe, the Fox X-Men universe. Now, the other really important movie that people have switched up on, and guess what? I have not switched up on that movie because it's absolutely fucking peak, and I don't care what any single person tells me, is Deadpool and Wolverine. Fight me in the comments, fight me in the fucking replies, whatever you want to say to me. Deadpool and Wolverine is peak. People loved it at the beginning. They switched up for no fucking reason. It's still great. Yeah, the plot's a bit random. Yeah, it's a bit of a cameo fest, but goddamn isn't it fun. This film brings it together. Obviously, Deadpool, Wolverine, the TVA, multiple X-Men characters, alternate universes, the concept of universes being abandoned and erased because of the TVA, and we get to see, it's kind of like a follow-up to Loki of what happens in the TVA, like how the TVA is actively monitoring the universes and how things are getting worse, and Deadpool being Deadpool just keeps fucking things up. Next, the Fantastic Four. Yes, it's a movie way later in the timeline, but here we have another universe, and guess what it introduces? Doctor Doom. There's your setup. So the main thing that this movie obviously shows is the Fantastic Four, right? Yes, who's Doctor Doom's greatest nemesis? Reed Richards. Here's the setup. We're getting there. You know, we're setting up. Yeah, Doctor Doom himself hasn't been set up over multiple movies from the beginning, but what they were doing is essentially showing that the universes are getting completely fucked, completely destroyed, right? And after that, after the destruction of all of the universes, or like instability of the multiverse, maybe Doctor Doom in the Fantastic Four universe, you know, the Fantastic Four retro futuristic world, high tech, blah blah, right? They might be in this movie. Now here's a theory. This is obviously not confirmed because I haven't seen Doomsday, and we should probably wait and see before we make judgments about a movie prior to watching them. I mean, everybody was complaining about the Odyssey, but wow, look at what a fucking masterpiece that came out to be. I'm on pure rant mode today, dude. Oh, that something's wrong with me. I have a stick up my ass. But introduces Doctor Doom's greatest rivals, introduces yet another reality, introduces the Fantastic Four, introduces Galactus, which is fucking cool. Terrible ending to the movie, by the way. Took it from like a 9 out of 10 to like a 5 for me, but anyway. Actually, no, I said 7.5. It was gonna be from a strongly recommend to like a you know, you can watch it if you want. That was like kind of my thing. So yeah, is that enough evidence for you guys? Do you think that the build up is good? In your opinion, do you think that the build up was good to Doomsday? Most people will say no. Most people say there's no build up. I've proven to you that there is some build up. We're building up the destruction of the multiverse, and we're talking about the Incursions mainly. Heck, in many of the TV shows that I haven't even talked about, you know, things are not well. Things are not great. I think that people also have overblown RDJ being Doctor Doom. I think that the main idea and the main reason that they have done this is because he's not gonna be like a Tony Stark variant. I doubt that. Maybe. I mean, it could happen. But I think it's the idea that the multiverse is so vast and so big that two people can share the same face, and that's it. Not necessarily be the same person, but they can look the same. I mean, it's infinite amounts of universes. And RDJ is just a great actor, and I'm sure that they wanted him to come and play this. With the eventual revival scene of Iron Man, I'm sure he's gonna be there somewhere. It's gonna be really cool to see Iron Man versus Doctor Doom. The face of the Infinity Saga and the face of the Multiverse Saga. So let's talk about Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom kind of came out of nowhere. He did not have that legendary build-up because the build-up was supposed to be Kang the Conqueror, but it shifted. But I think in this scenario, it still works because it could have been anyone. Because as I said so far in this video, and I'm going to reiterate the point, the main threat is the Incursions. That's the villain. Doctor Doom is not going to be the main villain. He's just going to be someone in his own universe trying to save his own universe. Or he's going to be someone that's going to try to save the multiverse. I mean, probably not in the best way, because, you know, it's Doctor Doom. But that's the reason he's been placed here. I mean, he's the one. Everyone knows how ridiculous Doctor Doom is. He's so OP. So that's just the main reason that they picked him. He's just so cool and he fits the bill, and he was in Secret Wars. And yeah, I think that it's quite simple that the villain could have even been the Dark Avengers, you know? It could have just been the X-Men fighting the Avengers in a battle to death, and that could have been the movie. That it just could have been Avengers versus X-Men. It could have been anything, but the main plot point was the Incursions. So, in summary, what do I think about Avengers Doomsday's build-up? Doctor Doom was not built up well. I'm not gonna sit here and try and tell you guys that, oh, it's kind of not an ass pull, it didn't come out of nowhere. Even though I did spend this whole video trying to tell you that, yeah, he's built up well. It's not necessarily Doctor Doom that's built up well, but the concept of Avengers Doomsday, which is what they said is going to be kind of a beginning, which is your start point of where your multiversal threat starts to actually become a problem. The setup for the multiversal collapse, plus the Incursions, plus the crossover of the realities, plus the Fantastic Four, plus the X-Men, plus the Avengers. That has all been great. Unfortunately, the weakest part of the Multiverse Saga is Doctor Doom's build-up. So I'm gonna leave you guys with a question. Are you excited for Avengers Doomsday? Controversial question, I know. Anyway, I'll see you guys. Take care.